Truck drivers rejoice. Joel Wagner from Daimler Trucks Perth has all you need to make your job look easier than Tony Modra sitting on blokes' heads taking a Frio Specky. Joel is in charge of the Fuso truck range and is ready to make your dreams come true on the road. Inquire about the 515 Kansas City cabs, which have been very popular as a ute alternative. The 515 has more tray space and payload than a ute, is drivable on a car license, and has car-like safety features. To top it off, there is a whopping 5-year, 200,000 kilometre warranty, which makes this beast more reliable than paid West Coast Eagles inside 50 free kicks during a Western Derby. So if you're looking to smarten up your transportation, from car licensed light trucks to prime movers, contact Joel at jwagner@daimlertrucksperth.com.au or ask for Joel on 9311 7400. Don't forget to mention the Purple Rain to receive the Purple Love treatment.
Hello and welcome to episode 2, season 6 of the Purple Rain with Duck and Oz.
Howdy.
Brought to you by Daimler Trucks, and thanks to Wags once again for jumping on board for season 2021, mate. He knows a good thing, and I tell you what, I was wearing a good thing, mate. We might have had a disappointing loss on the weekend, but like J-Lo said, mate, we'll take more out of this than we would a win. Mate.
Never as good. It's never as bad.
Oh, a bit of Rossism. Straight back in, mate.
Yeah.
Straight back in, bit of a Rossism. Shall we jump straight in, mate?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, okay. So the West Coast Eagles 9-13-67 defeated the Freo Dockers 8-9-57. 10-point win in the end by Wet Toast, mate. But look, a couple of real positives that I thought we could take out of the match. Look, I thought we looked good early, and we dominated for long periods of time. Eagles, obviously, they have about 3 inside 50s and kick 3 goals, but I thought we dominated, mate. It was really, really good, and our midfield in particular looked really good. I thought Fifey was dominating at time in the guts there, mate, and he's a big boy, Fifey, isn't he, Oz?
He's a big boy, running around the ball, getting smashed. Another season where his body takes big hits but able to cope with it. My question to you, Duck, without notice, can he go another season just full on in the midfield?
Yeah, I don't see why not, mate. I don't know if there's a listener's question about it, and if we have addressed this, we won't cover it on the listeners' questions. But look, I really think on the weekend was an opportunity when Lob went down to play 5 forward for the majority of the game and just see what he's like. Look, he drags defenders to him. In the last quarter when we started to get back into the game, you can just see like when we're running out of the half back or through the mids and we're kicking it to Schultz or Banners. And that's not a great look, mate. And Tabs was a bit underdone. And you see Fifey and you see the great man and you see how big he is, and he's just a mammoth of a man, mate. And look, I really think he might be one of the guys that can swing forward, especially if Sarong and Chera come back into the midfield mix. But you've got to win it in the guts as well. So it's a bit hard. And like I tweeted the other day at the Purple Rain 95, mate, I was like, if we had 2 Fifies...
Was that TikTok?
No, we're on TikTok as well, guys.
Sorry, just plugging.
The Purple Rain 95, because Purple Rain 95 was already taken on TikTok. Don't know which jerk took that. But anyway, mate, what I was talking about is that, Fife could have gone forward, but with Sonny and Lobby not looking like they're going to be playing round 1, definitely. Look, I thought Cox played really well, and I know that the Freo Fanatic and Bruce F asked this. Which defender do you see going forward? Because Cox played a great game, mate. So which defender do you see as going forward?
If it was a defender that has to go forward, I'm not sure because there's 2 schools of thought on this one, Duck. And I've heard you talk about robbing Peter to pay Paul before. If Coxie goes forward, he's essentially an all-Australian centre-half back, the way that he's playing. Okay, he's an absolute gun. So he goes forward. my concern is he's done it before, but do we forget that he wasn't necessarily as strong forward as he was down back? I mean, people gloss over the fact that during his stint forward, whilst he was serviceable, it wasn't necessarily the answer. And this goes to the school of thought that I have here, Duck, is that one forward is not the answer to our prayers, my friend. It is a system that we play that is a work in progress. And it starts with the inside 50s, and it starts with the lead-ups, it starts with hitting targets. And if you want a lesson in how to kick goals efficiently, watch the Eagles play football.
Oh, yeah.
They just hit targets, and they know where they're leading. Everyone knows what their role is, whether it's clearing space out for Ryan, whether it's jacked up. They all take their turn. They're all willing to do what they do. But for Fremantle, it's certainly a case where the inside 50s are a bit haphazard, so to speak. Comes down with snowing, and I'd like you to elaborate on this later because I know you were having your several rants during the game, as was I.
Yeah.
And my question is it more about worrying about the system and fixing the system? And when I say fixing the system, like just tweaking a few things here, because I just don't think moving Coxie forward's the answer.
Yeah. Is it the X and the O's, or is it the Jims and the Joes,
Yes.
as we like to say in
Go.
NFL? Look, mate, so do you... Just to answer my question, Oz, if we have to move a defender forward, if it's Hamling, Pearce, Cox, or even let's throw in Ryan, who do you throw forward?
Can I be left field?
Yeah.
I'd go Alex Pearce.
Yeah. I don't think that's very left field, mate. I think of the guys there, I think Cox actually reads the ball the best.
Yes.
And I think he would be a good forward.
Yep.
I think he's the best forward. But also, again, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I thought his work on the weekend as a defender was outstanding. You know, and Pearce would be a hard matchup still, mate. But Pearce has, as we saw a couple of times, he's lost a little bit of strength there. You know, your strength and your base comes through your legs. And, you know, Oscar Allen out-positioned him a few times, you know, and he's not the biggest guy. Pardon me. But
when he went down in that tackle,
I
was the first person to go, oh, no.
Yeah, like I thought he'd broken his leg again. Like just the way he went down, and he was very ginger. Mate,
thank goodness he's not.
Yeah, just some other points. I thought Splino's effort at stages was really good. I mean, you can't not love the Spleen, mate, and the way he goes about it. Freddie's pace, I thought was electric, and you know, once he realizes, and I said it on the not the Hater Show, but Sport FM guys on a Monday afternoon at around about 4:20, I think, blaze up. I'll probably be on the show around then from weekly with Heater, hopefully. Hope he gets me back on next week. The first thing he said was welcome, and I said, welcome to you, mate. And I was like, sorry, bud. It was just... Yeah, anyway. But listen to that, guys. Listen to Heater. He's one of our long-time listeners and a real loyal person.
Ripper guy.
Mate,
shout out, Heater. How you going?
We've been on his Tuesday show and stuff like that. He's really expanded the base, but... Mate, get
as
around
reliable
Heater.
as one of those Daimler trucks, mate.
Oh, yeah, big time. But get around Heater for the Sports FM Drive Show, 91.3. The big Heater, mate. Got to love the guy. Look, just side note, but Hughes really had a heap of it. I thought he was pretty solid. His ball skills still need a little bit of work, but... I mean, Hughes is just a bit of an unsung hero at times, mate. Look, Brayshaw's strength, I thought it was really good, but just rolling into the bad, he's still allergic to goals, Brayshaw, mate. He really struggled to kick one. Mate, just a couple of bads. Look, Lob's injury, still don't know what's going on. It really cooked our structure, however. You know, like, I'm not the biggest Lob fan, but our structure just went out the window as soon as Lob was out of the team. And, you know, like I said, it was a real opportunity to maybe play Fife forward at centre-half forward for the game. Just go, Fifey, mate, you're going to play forward. You and Tabs roll, full forward, centre-half forward. And I think it threw a bit of a spanner in the work in terms of, I don't think Tabs is going to play full game.
Yeah.
He did look a bit puffed, and Adam Simpson mentioned this. He said, look, pretty much after halfway through the third quarter, everyone looked cooked.
Yeah.
Everyone looked gas. Sonny does his hammy, which was pretty disappointing. And obviously leading into the year, he is our second best player, clearly. You know, he's so important after Fife, just for goal kicking and things like that. And, you know, the thing was, however, is that he was dominated by Shepherd, and I didn't understand that. They just kept him down there. He wasn't anywhere near it, and maybe he was a little bit sore from the week before, and maybe it was an opportunity to... I mean, we know what Sonny's like, mate, and we're sitting there watching, and, you know, I really didn't understand, and you were saying this to me, you're like, why are these guys like Trav Collier, and more looking at Henry and Chapman. Why are they just like? I don't know if there's an actual rule to it. Maybe someone can clarify it on our socials at PurpleRain95. But why were they on the bench for so long? It kind of reminded me of an old school, going back to the old games where someone would just come on for like a quarter of footy in the third quarter. They're like, all right, come on, mate. Like, no rotations. Just like it kind of like we know what Sonny Walters can do. Like we know, like everyone was pretty cooked by the third quarter. We know what a lot of these guys can do, so let's get these young fellas on. You saw what happened. Like Chapman, he showed a bit. Henry, he got a bit lost here and there, but he's put on a fair few kilos, and I'm really pumped about that. He's got a real big rump, and he's looking pretty yoked. He just needs to get used to the speed of AFL, and I actually thought Travis Collier wasn't too bad.
Yeah, he hit targets.
Yeah, he wasn't too bad. He was outrunning everyone, which is pretty good. Just some more bads. Look, Tabs he's just a confidence player, mate, and he was low on confidence. And there was a couple of times when the ball got kicked to him, and he gave the bloke kicking to him a bit of a spray. But he is a confidence player, and he is a little bit underdone. And it's pretty tough because he's a guy that we're actually quite heavily reliant on.
Well, just quickly before you go on there, mate, I know you're trying to get through this quickly.
No. Mate, this is the whole conversation of the show, mate.
But looking at Tabs, again, temper expectations. He had a great season last year. It was great. It was awesome. And I know people are thinking that he's going to go even further. Can we just let Tabs be Tabs?
Yeah.
We keep wanting Tabs to be someone that he's not necessarily going to be. Like he's going to be that very useful centre half forward for us. He's going to take his clunks. He's got vice-like grip. He's fantastic. Like he was underdone. He had some old Tab efforts there, but his first game back from when he had an injury, you could expect him to be underdone. But my concern is that we want to put a heap of pressure on this guy, particularly now that Lob's down. Just let Tabs be Tabs. Like he'll do his thing. Like he'll kick goals, like he'll kick his 2, he'll kick his 3. But ultimately, mate, we can't expect him to morph into something just because we need him to in 1 week. Like just be realistic about it. Let him play his way into form. He had a great season last year. And if he replicates that, fantastic. Hopefully it's not an aberration. Hopefully it's the norm now. But just remember, last year was the first year that he played for the most part without injury. Last year was the first time we saw Tabs as the potential Tabs that we wanted him to be. So let's just not jump on his back just yet. Let's let him be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, mate. And unfortunately, it's not. We don't have I think there's. The thing is that I'd hate to be a selector at the moment because you've got in the back line. It is literally like it is hard to get a spot there. I think our midfield's pretty much sorted, but it's the forward line where it's bloody old Mother Hubbard, mate. It's go to the cupboard and the cupboard's bare.
Well, funny you should say that here. I've got who's in the forward line. Coburn Arc janitor, vending machine stockpiler who's got good hands and is quick around the contest. Like, who are we going to replace these guys
mate,
with?
Bretto. Who are we going to get? Bloody Bretto.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, Scotty. No, Scotty Ward's not there anymore. Lukey, mate, down there. Big David Hale, bring him out of retirement. Hey, just a couple other things, mate. And, this is just on the game sense, I thought. And J-Lo touched on this, but, for 1.5 quarters, we really regressed back to some really, really poor footy. J-Lo mentioned that Eagles stepped up and we just kind of went a little bit to water. I think we really regressed and, it was slow ball movement. It was slow switching. We switched with intent early in the first quarter and then we went back into our shells. And, this is where Pearce and Hamling, to an extent, need to be able to. And, I reckon Pearce and Hamling's voice, their leadership out there, their intangibles are really hard to measure. But when they have the ball, it's really, really stands out how slow they are. Hamling, when he gets the ball, needs to be switching within 2 or 3 seconds. He gets the ball, he needs to kick it. You look at someone like a Barassa or a Jeremy McGovern, they get the ball, they're switching it straight away. They're not hanging on to it, look back, and then switch it to the guy. They really switch with intent, and, you really need that.
But to be fair, their kicking, you would say, is a lot better.
Oh, mate, but it's...
I know what you're saying, and I 100% agree with you.
I don't think that Barras and Barras and McGovern aren't that much better. We're not talking about,
Kicking. I'm not talking about marking, mate. I'm talking about
kicking. Like, I don't think it's that big a difference. It's not such a big difference, but it's all about confidence in yourself, mate. They're AFL players. This is what they do every day is kick a footy. Like, now, if you can't execute a 30-metre kick to a switch by a bloke by himself, that's a bit of trouble. Then you definitely shouldn't be in the team because the game is now around possession of the ball.
Yep.
So if you can't move it on quickly in the back line, it is actually quite easy to teach defensive staff. Now, I've talked about the intangibles that they do have, their leadership, their body movement, things like that. But, they got Ryan and Cox, the Bash Brothers, and you're wearing the Bash Brothers shirt, mate. They've got Ryan and Cox breathing down the throat. And we've seen that those guys aren't, invaluable. They are very much droppable and they're very much, their spots are in jeopardy. They've got to earn their spots back. And the big thing about Hamling that really grinds my gears, and I love Hamling, he's one of my faves, is that he takes an age on the ball. And I would prefer he takes 2 seconds and mucks up the kick, then takes 5 seconds and slows down the switch.
Now, on that, I know we'll fast forward here, mate. One of the things that we both bemoaned during the game was the delay kicking the ball inside 50.
Ugh.
When it was 1 or 2 kicks out, and it was just that chain where we moved it real quick, and then they just held it up.
Yeah.
And it just allowed the Eagles defenders to zone back and just get numbers, and it was just like slaughterfest. Why wouldn't you, if you're going to do it anyway, why wouldn't you do it?
I feel like it's a fear. It's honestly a mental thing. It's a fear of making the mistake.
Is that reminiscent of perhaps?
And it's maybe from previous coaches getting an absolute spray for making the mistake. So you fear the first option, then you go back, you finally trust yourself. There was a lot of times where the first option was on. Now, first option is always best option. These guys are elite. At an amateur level, your first option is always your best option because you're moving the ball on quickly. If you get the ball in quickly, it's literally Geelong's game plan is just get the ball in quickly, and guess what? The forwards are going to have a chance. There was a number of times where we hesitate. And it goes back to that thing you're saying about the Eagles. The Eagles know who's the player leading, who's the player blocking, who's the player getting out of the hole, things like that. And I think it was just a confidence thing, and we regress back. Now, we kind of fixed it a little bit in the last quarter, but it was too little too late, and we really can't afford to have a bad start to the season, with these kind of little regressions. And it is quarters. Remember last year, it was a quarter at a time that we'd have one bad quarter. And it's that slow ball movement. It's that silly thinking. It's that fear. They're paralyzed by fear. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds on the ball. The ball is a goddamn idiot pill. Oz, the longer you hold it, the dumber you get.
Well, I think the rule suits, and we're going to talk about our teams pretty soon, I guess. But if you look at the way that the rule suits guys like Freddie, a guy stationary on a mark ain't going to catch him.
Yeah. I said that on Heater's show, mate. I think as soon as Freddie realises that he's quicker than most people, if you have to stand stationary on the mark,
yep.
Mate, you can run like
how quick would your lateral movement have to be to stop Freddie when he goes off the mark at pace?
There's going to be a lot of players like that, mate, and speed's going to kill, and that's why I know we'll talk about your 22, but I think Freddie gets a game because of his speed. And once he realizes that, it's pretty funny. I had a beer with my mate Hawley on the weekend, right? On Friday. Shout out to you, Hawley. He's probably not listening to this, but mate, once he realized that he was the quickest player in the waffle, and he was. You can watch it. I think it's 2012. Watch the 2012 on YouTube. 2012 Waffle Grand Final. There's a guy Michael Hall on the wing, and he's literally running away from people and taking a bounce. Like 3 steps takes a bounce because he knows he's quicker than the bloke he's playing on. As soon as he unlocked that potential, he became like I reckon nearly one of the best players I've ever seen in Waffle footy. But as soon as you realise that you're the quickest, you're quicker. And you have that confidence, and that's what I'm saying. It's a mental thing, mate. Yeah. There was that stage where Freddie had the ball on the half-forward flank. He moved it quickly. If he got it in quick, he gives us a chance. But instead, he hesitates because he's fearful. It's that the hesitation is from fear, And the old saying, mate, he who hesitates is lost, And he was lost in that moment. And then the ball goes into the 50. I think Barras takes an easy mark, and they go bing, bang, bong, they kick goal.
Yeah.
But honestly, they literally went 1 kick, 2 kick, 3 kick, 4 kick, Kennedy goal. Not Kennedy, Darling goal, and the ball did not hit the ground from the Eagles. Yeah. And they got the ball, and I reckon blokes would have had the ball in their hand for maybe 3 seconds max. Mark, run back off the mark, kick. And that's little things that annoy me because I see guys, and it's very, very easy to do, and it's easy to train on. But we've still got this thing where we don't run hard back off the mark. We know the guy on the mark has to stand still. They can't approach. They can't go left. They can't go right. So this means you've got to push back off the mark even harder. Or it means you don't have to push back as far because you know they're not going to jump in the air. Yeah. I mean, they're not allowed to jump. Yeah. So, it's all about...
according to what we saw.
Well, shoot. I mean, all right, let's get into the ugly. Because the 50-metre rule I quite like. And I think people are starting to like it because... it's really easy and simple to understand. Stand still. But there was one stage where Pierce was pretending to fall over, which I kind of found quite funny. But Schultz jumped up in the air after he gave away the 50, but that was just for simply encroachment. Schultz ran straight over the mark and was like, bah! Yeah. And they're like, come on, mate, 50 metres. You ran 5 metres over the mark. But look, I think the rule's simple, and I think as soon the team that clicks onto it, and, unfortunately, we're not the smartest team usually and the team with the best initiative. But I think under J-Lo, we'll actually move it on quickly. We've just got to get it into the hands of the guys who can do it.
The team with the most number of unknowners are going to be the most disadvantaged because the refs will be umpires. Will be more inclined to give away the 50s against the unknowners.
Yeah. And someone asked me on Twitter, but shout out to you, Bogus Taylor, good Tamble up man. He said, can someone explain to me how Fife got that free kick against Langdon? It is the old-fashioned, I know who you are. Who is that bloke laying on the ground? Yeah. Your free kick. Yeah. Popular person.
And then the stitch-up was when Bannon's got his legs taken out. Who are you again?
Yeah.
No, hang on.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Shep.
It's Shep, yeah.
Mate, just some quick ones on that. The booing of Fife, and John Taylor talked about this as well, and the booing back of Gaff. Mate, what's your thoughts on it? Because I thought it was pretty ugly. Yeah. Either way.
Look, half of it, because I had a friend, shout out Murphy going, contact me today, and he goes, look, I'm watching the game. And he goes, well, I'm not sure why because he's an Eagles man. He goes, I'm not sure why we're booing Fife. And I said, you're booing Fife because it's remnants of when we used to boo Gaff and you had nothing to boo at, but now you love booing down at the Eagle land there. And he's like, it didn't make any sense. I think we're booing him because he got the free kick when he shouldn't have got the free kick. I said, it was a little bit louder than that, mate. Yeah. So I reckon it was vitriol, if you will. And do I agree with the Gaff booing? It happened a while ago, mate.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah, same. Can I just say this to all the Dockers fans out there? I think that we're the bigger people, and I'll just leave us on that one. On this, for the Gaff stuff, I think an eye for an eye, and we all go blind. Just remember that one. Just some more ugly stuff. Oz, just calling you out, mate. At the start of the game, we're watching the warm-up. Oh, Oz goes, Tracy has and it's not Tracy, by the way, it is Tracy. Yep. Tracy has the best hands, and Tracy's gone on to drop about 4 marks in a row, and you're like, just the jinx. Jinxed him right there. The Cyclone.
Look, normally it's Duck. It was clearly Oz. Clearly, I said, this guy's got great, within 10 seconds of me saying he's got great hands and a great kick, he drops the mark and misses his target.
Yeah. Mate, he's gone from Cyclone Tracy to bloody Cockeye Bob or something, or Willy Willy.
Willy Willy.
A small bloke.
Small Willy Willy, get those little legs going.
Mate, Alex Pearce. Does Alex Pearce have, and this might be one more for your era, Oz, but remember the Pat Rafter hair theory?
Yeah, I do.
That he got too hot because his hair and his beard was too long? Yeah. Is Alex Pearce's hair too long and too thick?
Because Pat Rafter's best tennis was when he had the ponytail.
Yeah.
US Open.
Yeah. Okay.
So Pearce's best football is when he's got his little top knot going on.
It's very thick and very long, mate.
It is. But, confidence out of hair.
But don't you think, man, you would be, like, I'm just thinking footy in general, right? I know appearance does matter, but if you want to be absolute at your peak,
shave your
don't
head.
You think, a clean-shaven head would be there? Like, limited hair? Or does the hair stop the sweat? I'd love to see is there a sports study? Surely UWA's done this. They give out all kinds of doctorates,
PhDs.
mate. A PhD in hair follicle.
Yeah.
Speaking of, mate, I really love this. Tabs, the clear mark, and Tabs is a confidence play, but he's clearly marked one.
Yep.
They haven't paid it. I was like, hey, this is his old mate Margette's out there. Yeah. And then he's taken another marker literally a minute later, snapped it, post. And that was literally the turning point in the game as well, because we're dominating. We couldn't kick a goal, and then they went down the other and kicked a couple. Mate, and the last one that I really loved, and this was just a quiet little lol, was that. So Young clearly has the best skills in the back line, right?
Yes.
And he kicked one out. Didn't go very well. Made a mistake. So Conker's gone, come on, mate. Come on, buddy. Now, Reece Conker is one of my faves now. He's really rising up the ranks with how well he plays on the small forwards.
Good to be converted.
And I'm a massive Reece Conker fan because we've really lacked a good key lockdown defender.
Yep.
Reece Conker, unfortunately, mate, is the worst kick. And he's gone a young blood.
Is he, though?
Oh,
what about Banners?
Oh, mate. Mate, Banners running around by himself was hell funny and no one kicking to him. That was pretty funny. But poor old Banners, mate. Led the team out as well. I quite like that. I don't know what that was about. Banners first man out. No Banners, so Banners leads him out. Do you think that was the gag? Like Banners, we don't have an actual banner, so you lead us out. But yeah, Conker kicking the ball out a Young made mistake. I just looked at you and I was like, this is Scotty Chisholm circa 1997, mate. This has got Chisholm vibes all over it. Like this is deep Chisholm.
It wasn't
cuts.
far off too.
Mate, Conker, like when Conker has the ball, he cannot kick it. And it's like he's gone to Young. He's gone, mate, you made one mistake. You only get one back here in the defense, mate.
But the thing is, we need him on that second kick because we need to hit.
Mate, he needs to be the first kick, mate. Mind you, actually,
third.
we did miss Luke Ryan with his elite kicking skills and his intercept, but I thought Coxie played well. Anyway, let's go to a break. Oz, when we come back, we've got your listener questions.
Come on. Ah, come on, Duck. Have you ever had problems with computers, mate? Look.
Every day of my life, mate, is a problem with the computer.
Well, you know what, mate? I've got a solution for you, buddy. Just Make It Work will take care of all your IT problems and help you use technology to reach more people, make more money and waste less time. You can relax knowing you're in the hands of real Dockers supporters. Get on to jmiw.it. Call or email and mention the Purple Rain for 20% off your first project with Just Make It Work, Duck. I suggest you get around it.
Welcome back to the Purple Rain. Shout out to Just Make It Work and Martin down there, and shout out to obviously Dama Trucks and Wags down there. But guys, just a quick shout out to some people in particular. So during the week, and I know I've said shout out 15 times now, but put the shout out on the socials. See if people could support us financially. You know, we've got subscriptions to pay. We've got things that we've got going on. And we provide a pretty good service. 50 hours of pretty good stuff every year. So yeah, look, and I do apologise if I pronounce your name wrong, but to these people who became a part of our Patreon, and you can go to our patronage, but to what do we got? Ard Walpoleg. I don't know. Caro, what's that? Hawley. Craig B33. That's a great one. Craig B33. Andrew Gwillam. Thank you for that. But big shout outs to Stuart Sumner. I think it is Summer. I got to double check here. Stewie.
I thought it was always
I've got him here. Anyway. Yeah, Stu Sumner and Shannon Hicks, who have donated $100 each, and that's just...
Whoa!
Mate, I feel like I'm on telephone at the moment. I'm like, I said he'd take your shirt off if we donated $100, mate. But no, guys, you don't understand how great that is for us. Like, you know, we're just two normal blokes, and we're really trying to produce the best show we can. And anything that you can pledge to us is just, it's so good, guys. And, you know, we really want to just keep producing a really top quality product. And it just, you guys listening and all your support on the social media. Remember, we're at Purple Rain 95 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and at the Purple Rain 95 on TikTok. So I might put up a TikTok at the end of the show, mate, just to. I don't know. One of our TikToks has got like, mate, this is TikTok. All right. I've got no idea. All I know is TikTok's owned by Chinese. I think the Chinese. Is that right? Is that racist?
Why are you looking at me? Like, because I'm Asian?
Hang on. No, I'm just saying. But the Road ones had 2,300 views.
Wow.
So that's just Rove saying shout out to the Purple Rain Boys. I'm like, that's our greatest video ever. But no, guys, seriously. Every Monday on Twitter and Facebook, I'll put up the question thing if you want to ask a question, and we'll try and get to most of them. We answer a lot of them in the show as we're summing up. But to everyone's support, thank you so much. And if there are any small business owners that want to get their name out there, hit us up. We can have listeners' questions brought to you by, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, anyone. You know, whatever small business you have, and we can get your name out there. But Oz, let's go to listeners' questions, starting with me. To you, mate. Oh, you get that. Oh, man, weren't you devastated they played this at the Eagles game?
No.
Were you like, oh, God. Eagles put... Oh, sorry, side note, Oz. Before we get into listeners' questions, how funny, and it should have been the ugly, how funny was the
Eagle?
bloody Eagle? Aussie the Eagle escaped. Now, guys, I'd love to go down memory lane. So, when they first introduced Aussie the Eagle at Eagles games, I was uni footy club were playing. I think it was Collegians or some club in the Colts in the pre games. You know how they used to have games before the games.
Yes.
Right. And Carl Langdon's gone. They're like, oh look, we're introducing this eagle. Carl Langdon's like, cool. So what do I do if the eagle just flies off? And they're like, no, it won't fly off. It's so well trained. Dead set. This eagle straight away. First thing flies off And I could just think about Carl Langdon. I was like, mate, Carl Langdon must be like, what the hell? He's like, well, I guess the Eagles just going off here, come back in a sec, he'll be back. And it came back like 10 minutes later. I was like, holy Mary. But that thing, mate, oh my Lord. Wedge-tailed Eagles are pretty awesome animals, man. Mate, we've
100%.
Mate, we've we've got fox traps down the farm that are cages, and you put a little... like a parrot or some kind of bit of meat, and then the foxes come in and catch them, and then you see. But you can catch wedgies in there.
Oh, boy.
And like, we don't kill wedge-tail eagles because
they're protected.
Are they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're protected.
I know some farmers that definitely blast them, mate, because they take lambs. But no, we never kill wedge-tail eagles because they're just awesome creatures. Mate, you pick one up, it doesn't weigh any more than a bloody Coles cooked chook. Like, it's pretty light. Like, you're picking up, the old bloody tradesman handbag, and a wedgie, right? Picked one up, like got him in the cage, got him out, and just flew him out. He went for a big drink. I think he was a bit thirsty, Merc, mate. But it's a little stories from the farm, mate. Okay, first question is from Mike Gallagher. Yeah, play that rift again, mate. Did any dockers that are on the fringes of selection, i.e. Connor Blakely, stand out to you yesterday, Oz, in the Derby? Was it humid and slippery conditions? We dropped a lot of marks with the Freo forwards.
Traditional practice match where there's a lot of sloppiness going on. Pity we can't play another.
It would have been nice.
I think it's...
Well, we play Eagles for the third time?
Yeah. In answer to your original question, no.
Anyone on the fringes?
I thought Blakely played solid, but I wouldn't have thought that he played exceptional to sort of push anyone out. In terms of anyone else on the fringe, my list is a little different. Based on injury, but no one really that I would say is out of the ordinary.
Do you want to? Because I've got Anchor, the Cheetah Man Anchor. I know it's the Anchor's the thing, so his name's the Cheetah Man.
Okay.
Sorry, they say the. Okay, he said, "Look, love the pod. What's your best 22 for round one? Let's go through that. Your best 22 was for round one.
This is those who are available as far as I'm aware.
Yep, after the injuries.
Okay, back line I've got Pierce, Hamling, Ryan, Young, Cox, and Conker. Then I've got Akers, Mundy, Aish, Spalino, Tabs, and Henry. Then I've got Freddie, Tracy, and Schultz. Then I've got Meek, Fife, and Brayshaw as the followers. And then I've got Hughes, Chera, Sarong, and Tucker I'm happy for any of those blokes to interchange. Notice that there is no Banners, no Willow, no Darcy, no Switter at this point in time. Willow, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
hence the reason.
I read on Twitter that he played a game for Peel, but then you said he might have been injured.
I thought he had a foot injury.
Like, I've got no idea. So, look, I guess we'll find out. I think Spleno might be... He went and got scans, but I don't think there's anything wrong with him.
Oh, come on now, Spleno.
Yeah, Spleno, mate. Imagine if his spleen actually ruptured. That'd be all funny. But no, I think Spleno's all right. Banners as well looked a bit injured from that slide.
Yeah,
So
he looks done.
But yeah, poor old Banners, mate.
Well,
but,
for the week or whatever it is.
For the 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Mate, I think that's pretty much what the team... The only person I have questions over, and I don't know if anyone talks about this, but I really think Tracy struggled this week. And I think if you look into everything, like if you actually take a bit of a forensic look over things, okay, did well in that one practice match, but that was when Hamling left the field. Okay, did well in the second half of the scratch match last week against the Eagles when they'd taken some of their tools off. So I think the problem with Tracy, however, is not he's just an out-and-out forward, and he gets asked to play ruck/forward. That's where we're in a bit of trouble. I think we really do need Darcy back. I thought Meek was impressive, but Darcy and Meek need to play. But
he's the only guy that I would consider coming in because I think he's close.
Yeah. All right, what do you got for me, mate?
This is from Connor Doyle. Shout out, Connor. How you going up there in Gero? With major elements of the side missing, Sarong, Ryan, Chero, Lob for the majority of the run-out, and L. Ryan on managed minutes, do you think that yesterday's result was a fair indication of where we are at systematically? I believe the Freo side that went out was far from ideal, and with the injection of said names above, are able to compete with top 8 sides.
Yeah, I think we can compete, and the midfield will be there to compete. The problem is the same problem that's been the last, essentially since 2015, is that we don't have a forward line that's going to kick any goals, mate. Our forward line lacks structure, it lacks discipline, it lacks confidence. And like I was saying to you, Oz, it becomes a negative feedback loop. The guys don't know how the leading patterns are just not that great. They're not confident that guys will kick it to them if they lead. The midfielders then don't respect those leads and they don't expect those leads. So they just bomb it on their head. And, it's not that hard. And shout out to my man, God, what was his name? The guy I did lace out with.
I don't know, mate.
Pipes. I think Pipes. He's a great bloke. Anyway, but that's how you want the ball. Lace out. Mate, on the lead, out in front.
Yeah.
Shout out. Listen to Lace Out, guys. They've done some great season previews.
Yep.
And I think there's a little bit of a talk about it coming up. But look, realistically, our system does need to continue to work and grow. Oz, this one's for you. 5 Sarah. Like my old coach told me often, I don't care if you touch the ball, but stop your opponent from getting it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
They're out of favour, but could Blakely be used as a shutdown tagger, given he's often in the right spot but just can't use the ball that well?
It's a very good question at defensive mid, getting on someone and then getting your own. The Crowley type, although Crowley was more of a hard tagger, a different system under Longmuir where everyone is required to play their role, but to be an attacking weapon. So, look, I don't know, under the current game plan, it would require a switch of methodology. So I'm going to say it's not a bad idea, but I just don't know if you can really get it done in a short period of time, mate. Ian Rundle, are there enough players with nicknames in 2021, especially in the back line? Spleen is good. Cyclone, yes. But Banners is a bit too toast-like for me. Chera, Brayshaw, Henry Akers need some work. Sarong equals so right, ? Meek equals... Will we see anything close to a Clive in the nickname world soon?
Ooh, a Clive. Jeez, I feel like Heath Chapman has the potential to be Heath, but I don't know. Like Heathy, maybe something like that. Sarong, Sarai. Yeah, that's all right. I think Freddie's the one who's that's it. And have you noticed? So that the Dockers media are now calling him Freddie. So Freddie, I think, is the, even though his name's Michael or Monaro. Is it Monaro? His real name's Monaro. Mate, you know who
it's not a fake name.
You know who we've actually completely forgotten about, because I'm just looking through the team, is Griffin Logue, mate. Remember how good he was?
Yeah.
Is he becoming the new Doctor Who? No, mate, I think, in terms of a good nickname, we got to think of one. I thought Blake Acres calling him the Farmer, mate. I think that's a pretty good, like the Farmer, not Jeff Farmer, but Blakey Acres. The Bash Brothers, the Dewey Decimal Duo, the guys who just go about it. Maybe it's more of our, we've got to come up. I like Cyclone.
Yeah.
Noddy for Nathan O'Driscoll.
Noddy was good. I like that
through.
call. That was good.
Look, it's a work in progress. Leave it with us.
We got a couple of songs
I don't know
coming
what
up.
we got for banners, mate. I mean, good Lord. But we'll see how it goes. Hey, mate, have you got the conspiracy theme over there, Oz, on your little board?
X-Files, negative, not on this one.
Okay, that's all right. But conspiracy time. So do you want to do the doodle-doo? This is from JMC, and this is Conspiracy Corner. Zane True was projected to be a first-round pick, but until Sumich bagged him out big time, he slid to the Beagles in the rookie draft. Can't help but remember the Darling BS and wonder if they have managed to pull a Swiftie, not a Tom Swift, again. Thoughts?
Oh, boy, that is actually a pretty good point. I remember the JD stuff coming out of one certain high school from camp, I believe it was.
But that was 100% true, that stuff that he did on the camp.
Yes.
He got expelled.
Yes, he did. Yeah. But I don't think that affects his football. Young man, I don't know. I think Suma was certainly at the time looking to assert some influence in the media, knowing that he's probably not going around in coaching circles, so just, sort of throwing himself out there. I just think he speaks his mind. I don't necessarily think there's anything untoward there.
Yeah.
He coached the guy. Why would he? I don't know. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Shout out Radar. Wade Blackiston. Firstly, happy birthday, mate. And secondly, I hope the little one's going well. Congratulations on the second bub. 2 questions. Number 1, what are the chances of Duck and Wazza from Eagles Nation having an umpire off?
Oof.
Where they both rattle off the injustices dealt to them each by the one and only Dean Margetts. Wazza thinks it's even. God, turn it up, Wazza. Yeah. Number 2, did anyone else get tingles seeing Meek move through traffic? We got a semi.
Yep.
Before comprehensively beating champion Data's best player.
Mate, I thought Meek was really, really solid, and he holds it up, and he's confident with the ball at foot, and he's not that bad with it either. Like he's a good looking player, Meek. He's lost his big long locks, which but mate, he looks like a big man, and we didn't speak about him in the good, but I think he's a lock for round 1 now. In terms of Wazza, yes, I did listen to that show, Lace Out show. I don't know what world you're living in, Wazza. I don't think you'd listen to this, but mate, Dean Margetts is the biggest one-eyed Eagles fan, and like for an Eagles fan to complain about Dean Margetts, watch any game, watch any derby where Dean Margetts umpires.
Death, taxes, Margetts inside 50 free kicks.
Mate, but it's just the ones he misses as well, where he just like takes the whistle to his mouth. Still remember, dead holding the ball by 5.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers. And he went,
nah.
Play on.
Play on.
Nightmare, mate. Tabs' mark. Just look at that. There's nothing as egregious as Tabs' mark last year. Anyway, this one here, mate. This is from Fred. How do all our tools, Lob, Tabs, Tracy, and one of Darcy and Meek, fit in the same team if they're all fit?
They don't, and it would be a case of the system. I don't think Longmuir is 100% sold on one specific methodology. What's wrong, mate? You're looking at me weird.
Sorry, mate. I can just hear it buzzing in my ear.
Okay. You all right?
Yeah, I'm right.
Okay,
just
good.
hope it doesn't come through.
All right, yeah, no. I don't know what to...
We just bumped the...
Okay.
Right. It's all good.
So where was it? Yes.
So Lob, Tabs, Tracy, Darcy, and Meek. Who are the 3 that you're picking?
Fit?
If they're all fit.
Darcy, Lob, Tabs.
Okay, Darcy, Lob, Tabs.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
We really need, and we saw it, we really need that release kick down the line when chips are down and they want to go back to the Ross style of down the boundary,
down
mate.
to Sandy.
We actually need someone to replace Sandy to take that mark, mate.
Yeah.
All right, this one's for you. Piero Caluzzi. Acres on the wing? Is this the best posse for him? Can he be one pushing forward more and providing a marking target? Or would his presence interfere with the leading forwards? Oh, wait. What leading forwards? Oh! Tabs injury prone. Is the Lobster capable of holding down a permanent forward spot with the emergence of Meek? Tracy or Tracy, get on it, boys. Figure it out. No Valente again, year after year, always injured. Do you see this guy ever paying back the investment the club has put into him? I hope he doesn't go down the same road travelled by a one Sam Meningula.
So I put it out on Twitter because I didn't know what happened to Valente. I was like, why isn't Valente playing? Really want to see this guy. Nugget inside mid, captain of South Australia. I think the Dockers were really happy to get him when they got him in the second round. I think we even moved up to get him. And look, he kicked his own leg. A bit of a freak injury. Now, he's been out for a couple of weeks now. Is this a Mitch Wallace where he's broken his leg? He's kicked himself in the calf. Like, kicked his own leg while he was running or kicking or whatever.
So obviously getting knocked or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's knocked his own leg.
We saw what happened with Mitch Wallace.
Well, Mitch Wallace broke his own leg, kicking his own leg, trying to kick the footy, unbelievable, like the freakest accident. But, we really need to start to see something from Valente. Otherwise, he's going down a Tom North road. Not necessarily Sam Menengola. That may be Sam Menengola road, but you've got to think like what's going on here. So I really want to see Valente play this year, and it's going to be a concern. Is there going to be waffle, or is it going to be this scrappy, 15-a-side reserves, whatever happens to be? Because I think there's a lot of guys, including Liam Henry, that I think need to have a season of senior football in the reserves just to get better and used to playing senior football and that little bit of not electric pace of the AFL, but just that quicker speed. And Valente really hasn't played much senior football as well. The first part of the question is about what? Sorry, just
Akers on the wing.
The problem with Akers, mate, is that he is not the hardest customer. That's the problem with Akers.
We saw a couple of little...
That's the problem. And we can't talk because we're not out there playing.
No.
But there was a few times...
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that it wasn't about footsteps, but he dropped a couple of marks that he should have taken.
Yep, definitely. Okay, next one. Do you think the new rules will hurt our game style and suit wet toast? That's from Shearer Purple Heart.
Yes, the fact that you stand... Well... There's two things that you can benefit from standing straight on the mark. Number one is pinpointing targets if you're a good kicking team, and number two is playing off the mark. Now, West Coast don't have a lot of speed, so they're going to obviously use their kicking ability. Liam Ryan, can I just digress here? Liam Ryan has gone another level this year. So not only is Liam Ryan... I think from memory, and Duck, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, was measured at the highest speed last year. Not getting there, but the highest speed. So he's clocked at the highest speed. 2, has a ridiculous leap. 3, looks like he's built his tank and can run around.
Yeah.
And 4, has the confidence and has the authority to do whatever he wants on the ground.
Yeah.
And plays his spot. Gee whiz.
Yeah, he's a good footy player, mate. He's a good footy player. But in the end, I really think that these rules could help us a little bit because we move quicker.
Yes.
All right, you're on.
This is from... No, that was Pira Kaluzi, so it's you asking me.
I just asked you the new rules.
And you did. So this is from Robert Palladino. Over the summer, Freo have locked in some younger blokes. Can you see Chera staying as he hasn't extended his contract yet?
I can, but I see Chera's manager being smart. Chera will have another great year this year, and at the end of the year, he will be getting paid. He'll probably be, if not the highest paid player at the Dockers, he'll be up there.
Yep.
I think he's like, I'm not saying that Andy Brayshaw hasn't done the right thing. I love Andy Brayshaw. I think Andy Brayshaw has completely done the right thing signing with the club, but I think if you know how desperate the team is, then you can get a lot of money.
Well, if you look at
it's all about leverage, baby.
And age too. I mean, Mundy's 22 this year. Anyway,
but mate, that's the thing, isn't it? Is that he waits, he gets a big contract.
Yep.
Now
it's not like the Tab situation.
He's betting on himself.
Yeah.
He's betting on himself, and he's going, you know what? Dockers need me as another midfielder. They've spent all this time. They've invested in me. He's probably happy in WA. Like, all those things are, but like, there's always that go home factor. And you know what? He could dead set go home, but I really hope he signs, and I really hope he signs because this is their big contract.
Yeah.
It's your second and third contracts that are your big contracts.
Yeah.
And you've got to remember these guys only get a limited time to earn money. And so good on him for trying to get the most he can, like that's his prerogative. And the thing we've just got to take is the emotion out of it and just say, hey, look, man, when you sign, you're going to be a Docker for a long time.
Yep. And we don't know, obviously, the cap issues. Obviously, we got to take into consideration that the AFL's, reduced the cap again.
Have they?
Yeah, the off-field cap to begin with.
Yeah.
But one of the things that concerns me, Duck, is whether or not there is cap space.
I think there is, mate, because,
Well,
the thing was last year that they're talking about the Dockers squeezing their cap. We've actually had to spend so we could make the minimum, mate. Because we've got a lot of guys that are on not much money. Remember, we've got a lot of first, second, third year players. David Mundy wouldn't be calling in a big amount of money. Stephen Hill's at the end of his contract. Who are the guys that are getting paid a heap? This is what I said the other year. But the fact of the matter is that, yeah, we actually do have money spare in our cap for next year, but we're saving it for Chera and for Brayshaw. Now, Brayshaw signed on the dotted line. Chera, I believe, will sign, but he's just waiting because, guess what, mate? He gets an extra $50,000 a year. Good on him, mate. He finishes third in our fairest and best, second in our fairest and best.
We
he
need
does
him
well.
to stay.
Mate, he stays.
We need him to stay.
All right, this one here from Alex. Where does Nathan Wilson fit in the team? If he's fit, okay, if Nathan Wilson is fit, is he in your best 22 at the moment?
Yes.
Obviously on a half back.
Yes. Obviously, you got to play Conker back there. You could almost push Young forward and play Wilson off.
Do you think Young has to play? Are you like, we need to play Young?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we are as well. I think we're at a point where, like, his skills are so good that we have to play.
He's our best kick.
Yeah.
Hands down.
But Conker's taking the kick outs, bud.
Next question. Mitchell Griffin, thoughts on Brad Johnson's prediction that Freo will win a flag within 3 years? It was bang on in 2016 when he said that said that we would miss finals for 3 straight years. Could he be onto something again?
Mate, I tell you what, if the smiling assassin's up and about, I still remember David King's face.
Yeah.
Now, rule number 1, David King loves the Dockers.
Yeah.
Like, he loves the Dockers. Rule number 2 is that, yeah, Brad Johnson did say that. He said, look, I haven't got the Dockers to make the final. And David King's like, what? What? Like, he was so surprised. He's like, I've got him to win the flag. And so did we. That's the first year.
Yeah, that's the first year we did.
20 and 2. But, I tell you what, if we win a flag, mate,
Tats.
This house is not going to be standing up.
I told you.
Tats, mate. Tats.
Purple
rain tats?
Trouble tats?
Tribal tats. Yeah, just get random tats. Get like mum or my with a rose. All right, this one's for you, mate. Are our expectations tempered after yesterday, or are we overreacting a little bit?
No. I mean, it's never as good and never as bad. Of course, we're up and about after the first practice game, but it's exactly that, a practice game, practice match, whatever you want to bloody call it.
Yeah,
Look,
no, that's cool.
At the end of the day, Duck, I think we'll see this year what Fremantle have been able to put together over the preseason. I've heard some really good things coming out of the hub, and we saw remnants of that towards the end of last season. The boys are tight; they're together. The thing that's going to hurt us early on is Sonny out. That's the big one, and Lob, and whether or not we can get contested, because Lob, if I'm not mistaken, was leading our contested marking.
I think Lob and Tabs were like 2 and 3 in the competition contested marking. They were dominating.
So someone needs to take the Lob equivalent of those, or share the love, whatever it is. So I think that's going to hurt us. All right, this one's for you. Matthew Reynolds. Can we play Meek and Darcy in the same team? Aside from Cox, which defender is best suited to go forward?
Pierce for the second part. Can we play Meek and Darcy? I think Darcy wouldn't be a bad deep target.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit, and same with Meek. They wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be the best option, but I tell you what, the rock stocks are looking a bit thin, aren't they, Oz?
Yeah, they are.
And we're talking about this. I mean, someone like a Stephen Hill, if he retired right now, could we sign someone new to the list? Because
Brace McGuinness, lock it in.
it's one of those positions, mate, where to find a big man, like big men are the same in the waffle. They're same, like get Scotty Jones back from East Perth, mate. Like, no, I mean, don't hurt East Perth, but like get a big man like Galty, who's at Swan Districts. There's plenty of good big men floating around the waffle that would probably be a really good backup. But unfortunately, it means someone has to go off the list.
Obviously, they're mighty Redlegs. I'm a bit biased with Fraser.
Yeah.
Good bloke.
Oh, he's a
on
great
the
bloke, Fraser.
Eagles list for a while.
Mm.
Anyway.
But he would be that good forward/ruck.
Yes, correct.
As well.
Where are we now?
It's my go,
It's
mate.
your go.
And it's Skip MK. Where and how do you see the extra 5 goals J-Lo has asked coming from?
We had just as many inside 50s as West Coast. At one stage, we were bang on level. The big difference was the efficiency. We're not going to score an extra 4 or 5 goals a game if we keep bombing it in like we have done in the past. You know, the Achilles heel of Fremantle over the years has been the service into, forward 50. Unless Nat Pfeiffer's there taking hangers on people's heads, that's not going to change. So it's a case of, can we hit our targets? If we can just lower eyes and hit targets, and then be prepared to shoot on goal from 45. If you're 45, 40 out, have a crack. We don't have to get it as close as humanly possible. I was just a little disappointed a couple of times where we could have had a ping.
Yeah.
And then what we do is we hit it shallow, and then it just goes bang the other side.
Yeah, I think this is the difference, Oz. So we had 4 less inside 50s, right? 49 to 53. However, we had 7 to 14 marks inside 50.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
You can't, and again, that's why I think, Duck, I don't think it's a case of we need, it's all about having the one forward like a Jesse Hogan or a Cam McCarthy. It's not about that. It's about system, and it's about making sure that the system works for the forwards that you have.
Yeah.
So hitting targets, like, how many hangers did West Coast take? Not many. Why? Because they were hitting them tits out. Like, Liam Ryan just bang into space, leading in space.
That's it, mate.
Thanks
And
for coming.
that's the thing, isn't it? It's the service as well.
Yeah.
It's the X's and O's as well as the Jims and Joes.
Mate.
Next one, Dwight Kello has said, okay, great to have you guys back. Why does it still look like it's men's versus boys when we're playing the Eagles? I keep waiting for them to be old and slow or rebuilding, but it seems like our big brothers just wait to pound us. Not only they beat us on the scoreboard, we seem to suffer injuries which make it worse. Really hope our time is coming over the next few years. So many positives to look out for, though.
Yeah, look, it was interesting to see the boys. What I liked about Tracy was the fact he threw his body around. I said to you, mate, look at him there. Like, he was the one guy that wasn't intimidated in that one contest. And the Eagles got a bit upset and were roughing him up. I thought the boys should have got around him a little bit. Fife got whacked from pillar to post throughout the entire game, so I thought he's going to pull up a bit sore. But, mate, when you play a certain way against the Eagles, they make you look like boys.
Yeah.
When you just constantly bomb it high and those defenders are
licking their lips, mate.
Like, of course. Anyway, practice match. Next one for you, Taylor Hunt. Why did our assistant coach clean out not include the guy who's been in charge of a forward line that has been completely inept and devoid of any creativity since he arrived, and somewhat before, to be fair, to Hale?
Look, I mean, it's a tough one. I think actually Peter Bell quite rates David Hale, and I think he's stayed on. Now he might not have been too expensive as well. Soft cap issues. You got to think about things like that. They're intangibles. But it's definitely something that we can improve upon over the next couple of years. The leading patterns are a problem, but it's not as much as David Hale's fault as it is the midfield. Like the service and the delivery is still poor at times. But it's a little bit tough. It's a club-wide problem. It's not a specific one person. Now, how many questions you got left, Oz?
I have 2 more.
No, geez.
I'll get the next one. Benjamin Foster.
Okay.
12 months into JLO, 2 pre-seasons. What do you think our brand of football will be this year? Shout out, Benji.
I think we'll continue on defence first, blue collar. Work hard. We'll win games 10 goals to 8. That's maybe a little bit higher because the games will go a bit longer. But 12 goals to 10. We're not going to belt anyone, and we're not going to be belted. We'll have bad quarters, and we'll have really good quarters. So that'll be our best won't be too bad, and our worst won't be outstanding. I think that J-Lo's just getting us on the right track, mate. We're on the right path, which is really good. Comashobus Largo, the Crips play where he just stopped running for the mark and let Cox run into him. Genius or not a football play?
This irks me no end in the NBA.
You didn't like it, did you?
No, because it's rubbish. I mean, Chris Paul does it.
Or he just stops running.
He sticks his big butt out. He just stops running, and big lumbering guys hit him.
Yeah.
Who don't have the dexterity nor the lateral movement to get around. I think it's if you're initiating that contact, why should that be a free kick?
Yeah,
so you just
I
stop dead. So some guy, no, don't get me wrong. It's
Cox
smart.
was actually looking at the ball and he's just like,
Boof.
But it's just smart. How about this, Oz?
Put it this way: when Sonny does it, does Sonny get the free kick when he does
that's
it?
because Sonny's doing a Superman dive.
Yeah, I understand
well,
that, but you know.
But can I ask you a question, Oz? And this is always I never understood this in basketball. If my feet are planted right, and someone tries to run past me and I just get because you can bend your knee.
I know what you're going to say. Can you give him a cork?
Can you knee him?
No, you can't. If you're outside your cylinder, no, you can't.
Oh, so you got to be in the cylinder.
Well, yeah, I mean, depends on what the size of your cylinder is.
Well, let's say I'm like legs spread and someone tries to run past me and I just move my knee.
You can't spread your legs. I mean, you can go defensive stance and then play straight up. If you beat them to the spot, that's not a problem. But if you're sticking your knee out.
My feet are planted, but my knee is bending to defend on that side. And they just the way smash into my knee.
The way you're leaning into
I'm pretty much kneeing them.
Yeah, you're going to...
But feet are planted.
Yeah. I'd love to have you on my team, by the way.
Oh, mate, I'm terrible.
Doesn't matter.
I'm the guy that they look at and go, let him shoot. Let him shoot. And you're like, stop. And you're like, cheers, guys. That actually hurts my feelings.
Long came Polly. Let it rain.
Mate, I said that in a game of social basketball. They were like, let him shoot. And I stopped and I was like, I have feelings, guys. Cheers. This is social basketball. Good guy. All right, last question from you, mate. Then I want to finish on a belter for you.
Go, Royal Hooper. Can Gemma Houghton play 2 games each week?
Mate, can we just stop for a sec? Okay, we don't really talk about the AFLW team because we're flat out. We've got millions of things on, so we don't have the dedication to the AFLW team that really deserves us to speak about on the pod. I watched parts of the game on the weekend, and Turbo Kira Bowers is the best football player I have, lady football player, female football player. A happy International Women's Day, by the way. I have seen. She is so good, man. She's like when you watch footy and there's an A grade player playing like in the F division. She's running around and she's got so much time. Oh, Turbo, mate. It's like, oh my God. She's at a level which is so far above 3/4 of the people she's playing against. It's mental. And the Dockers are going so well. They're
Come on now.
The AFLW team is going so well. They lost that game to Brizzy.
Come on.
I reckon they're sniffing it up big time.
I'm not saying nothing.
Sniffing it up worse than a bloody...
I'm not hexing nothing.
Bloody, an Italian back in March 2020. That's when coronavirus was in Italy, mate. But
the AFL could stitch us up, they would.
Yeah, they're probably like, cancel it. There's one case in Northern Territory. Cancel the game. It's 2 minutes to go in the last quarter. They're like, blow the siren. Game is cancelled. Now, Oz, last question for you, mate. Yep. This is a great question on Big Footy.
Okay, I'm listening.
And jump on Big Footy, guys, because it is a really good little forum for some great conspiracy theories as well. But this question was put on Big Footy, and I wanted to ask you, okay, if you could bring back 3 previous Dockers into the team right now, who would they be and why?
Okay. Number 1, Tony Modra.
Yep.
I'm going to name them first.
Okay.
Number 1, Tony Modra. Number 2, Matthew Pavlich.
Yep.
And number 3, oh boy, I was thinking Dale Kicker because I love the guy so much. We did actually see him. Shout out, Dale. We saw you walking across the bridge with a limp, but you still look like you're in good nick and could probably jump in, injured or not.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Dockers. Look, I'm probably going to go... Poor Hazelby. We just need that delivery. Peter Bell is a very unlucky 3rd because I would put fourth. Yeah. But I would put Peter Bell almost in that.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly Pav.
Yeah, Pav.
Modra and Pav.
Yeah,
Modra and Pav?
Yeah.
I mean, Modra jumps on Pav's head while he's trying to jump on someone else's head. Can you imagine?
See, I think I put down as the Purple Rain in general, mate, because that's what I am, a big footy. But Pav number 1, definitely.
Yeah.
Key forward, definitely a big need. Number 2, for selfish reasons, the Wiz.
Jeff.
Just to get him back, mate. And a small forward that kicks goals.
Yep.
It actually is a need of ours.
Yep.
You think you get Pav and the Wiz in that team.
Can I challenge you on that?
What?
Did you put Mods in there?
I didn't put Mods. You know who I put as my last player? And I thought about it. Modra was one of my, should be considered, but I put in J-Lo. Pete J-Lo, mate, as the upgrade on Lob. I think J-Lo is a much better player than Lob. I think in the ruck he would have been great, very mobile, and he'd be a great leading, get him at centre-half forward, get him up.
Kicks
You got
goals.
Pav. I think the guys are unlucky to miss out. Luke McFarlane, obviously. We don't need
clearly.
any defenders,
Yeah.
but we love Luke McFarlane. I think Roger Hayden as a good
the
lockdown
doctor.
defender. He would have been really great.
Hits
Small
targets.
defender, hitting targets as well. He's an upgrade in skills. But yeah, I think our midfield's pretty sound, and it's just our forward line. So it's and maybe Clive. Clive as a mid-sized forward.
Yeah.
As a mid, because that's the thing. We keep forgetting about Sam Sturt, but Sam Sturt's been injured as well.
Well, my question to you is Tab's trying to drive the inner Clive with some of those kicks he's doing, like posts.
Tabs is getting a bit of Clive about him. Yeah, big time with some of those kicks.
But going back to the Mods Farmer, my question to you is how's the ball being delivered into the forward line at the moment?
Yeah, on people's heads.
So,
hey, hang on. Now, Mods took some bloody hangers, but...
some?
Mate, the Wiz took one of the great marks.
Yeah, of course, at Melbourne.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. So, mate, not saying he won't take him. I'm saying...
Mods took all of Mod's marks at Fremantle were on blokes' heads because the way we delivered it.
But can you just imagine the spunk that we'd have in that, the swagger we'd have in the team if Wiz was in the forward line again?
Oh, with Walters?
In the forward pocket.
Oh, God.
Wiz, Walters.
Oh, can you just imagine Walters?
I mean, we just need three forwards. Just three forwards. All right, so let's say this, Oz. Let's go. Our three will be Pav, definitely. Modra, definitely. Wiz, definitely. They're our three. All right? Don't need any midfielders. We could have had, some great players. People will be like, what about Shawnee Mack, mate? Get him back. All right, guys. Hey, look, once again, thank you for listening. We've just gone over an hour. Thank you very much for your listeners' questions. They're really much appreciated. Every Monday at about, I don't know, whenever I remember to do it, between 7 and 8 on Twitter and Facebook, I'll put these up. If you don't follow us on Twitter and Facebook, please do. We're at Purple Rain 95. Remember, we're at Instagram, Purple Rain 95, and we're now on TikTok at the Purple Rain 95. So watch our TikTok. I might put up a little video now, and we'll see how it goes.
Love your work,
Bye.
guys. See you later.